Question 17. Find an equation of the straight line that is perpendicular, which means 90 degrees, to the straight line x plus 2y equals 5, and that it passes through the point 3, 7. So, the general equation for a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where c is the y-intercept and m is the gradient. Okay, so they've given me the line x plus 2y equals 5. Now I'm going to rearrange that so it's going to be in this format. Okay, so I'm going to take away x from both sides, so minus x plus 5. Now I need to divide both sides by 2, so that's going to leave me with y equals minus a half x plus 5, plus 2.5. Now that is in the format of y equals mx plus c. So that means this straight line is going to cut the y-axis at 2.5, which is fine, and it's got a negative gradient of a half. Okay, so the line is negative, which looks like that, and it's not very steep as it's got a gradient of negative half. Anyway, so we need to find the equation of this other line, which is perpendicular 90 degrees to this line. Okay, so you've got to know that the new line, which is perpendicular, will have a gradient of minus 1 over the gradient of the original line, which is minus a half. Okay, so it's going to look a little bit messy, but this is saying minus 1 divided by minus a half. So the new gradient, or the gradient of the perpendicular line, is going to be minus and a minus. Minus divided by minus is a positive gradient. Okay, 1 divided by half is 2. So the gradient of the new line, I'm going to write that in, gradient, not new line, but gradient of perpendicular is 2. Okay, so y equals mx plus c for the perpendicular line. Now we found out the gradient, so y equals 2x plus c. We don't know the intercept yet, but it says it goes through the point 3, 7. Okay, so the coordinate 3, 7, this is the x and this is the y. Okay, now we're going to substitute that into here. So that's going to be 7 equals 2 times 3 plus c. Now we're trying to find out what c is, the y-intercept. So that's 7 equals 6 plus c. So take away 6 from both sides, so c equals 1. Okay, so let's finish this off then. So the equation of the perpendicular line that goes through this point is going to be y equals 2x plus 1. Okay, and that is the final answer. Y equals 2x plus 1. Now question 17 is worth 4 marks in total. So let's have a look at how you get those marks. Okay, the first one is a method mark for establishing the original line has got a gradient of minus a half. Okay, so we've done that there. The second method mark comes from finding the gradient of the perpendicular line, which is 2, okay, positive 2. The third method mark depends on the previous method mark for substituting 3 and 7 into this equation here, which we've done. We substituted the x and the y to leave us with c equals 1. And the fourth mark then is for putting it all together and actually coming up, finding an equation of the straight line that is perpendicular to this here, okay, which is y equals 2x plus 1. So if we were to draw this line out here, this line and this line that goes through 3 and 7, they would be perpendicular to each other, okay. And that's question 17, and that's worth 4 marks.